Welcome to this week's weekly card reading. It is Monday, January 19th, and I am Allison. I am an intuitive, a healer, and a spiritual mentor. Really here just to help others connect to their own intuition and live more in alignment. So that's what I do. I am coming on just to give some guidance for the week ahead or just in general, whatever you're needing to hear right now. I have connected to two messages and pulled some cards on them. So you just need to feel in to see if message one or message two is calling you this week. I would love to know if it resonates, so let me know if the message resonates in the comments. And before I just do that, while you kind of feel into it, actually, I'm going to show you the two cards, just the backs, because sometimes we can see it and then feel into it. I don't know if I can show you both at the same time. So this is message number one, and this is message number two. Okay, you think about that. And while you're thinking, I'm just going to let you know that I have year ahead readings. There's 2 weeks left to book it, and then I'm shutting it down. So if you are looking for a year ahead reading that is more in depth and that you can kind of ask questions or have ask questions on like maybe certain areas you want to focus on for the year ahead, then I have that option. We meet over Zoom, you get a digital copy, you get a numerology report, all the fun things. And then if you're kind of like, or yeah, if you're kind of like, nope, I don't really want all of that, then you can book. I have another offer where it's just you receive the digital copy, and it's more just kind of like I pull the energy forward of each month, and then send you a copy of what I received and what cards I received for that, and that's more price effective, or yeah, it's an easier one on the wallet, on the bank account. So whatever's calling you. And then obviously I offer intuitive readings and healings. I've been doing a lot of healings lately, been loving all of that. And what I receive and everything. So it's been amazing. And that's it. That's all. Okay, let's get into it. So message number one. So I instantly felt, okay, let me just try to think of it again. Oh yeah, so I was instantly shown or I heard the words is find the beauty in everything. And so it was really around, it felt like a perspective shift. So it's kind of like how you perceive something is how you're going to feel, right? So like, two people can be standing and perceiving a situation and have two complete different reactions based on their own perception of it, based on their own internal thought process on it. And, and so this is where it feels like spirit's kind of encouraging you to just be mindful of what maybe you're putting focus on, because it feels like you could be missing out on some of the beauty, some of the, what's the word? It feels like you could be missing out on some of the opportunity. It feels like, not being mindful where your perspective is, you're going to be missing out on something wonderful, because you're too busy over here looking at maybe what's not great instead of like, ooh, but there's flowers blooming in the aftermath of a forest fire. I don't know why that came to me, but that's what it did. And the cards that I pulled is seek guidance in this. It is time for a different perspective. You gotta love it. I love pulling a card that literally says the words that I was receiving in my head. And then the other one was jeweled web connectivity. And then I was also, I don't write this down, but then I was like, I also was receiving, what was it? Why can't I think of it? Oh yeah. Okay, I had to pause to think about it. It literally like went out of my head. Um, yeah, so it also felt like um, don't box yourself in what you feel that you can achieve, or maybe what you feel like certain outcomes could be. So it felt like it was like, oh well, to earn, like, to get a whirlwind of money to come my way, I have to win the lottery. Like that's the only way. So it felt like that's like you're boxing it in to be like that's the only way, and it's like like our words, our beliefs, really do create like our reality in that sense. Like there's a frequency, there's it kind of like the universe acts off of like what we are thinking or perceiving, and will mirror that back. And so it was like they were like, get yourself outside the box, like think beyond that. Don't stifle like how far you could go with it. Again, like it's like these things where you're kind of like I'm a real realist. And when I've done like manifesting exercises where it's kind of like do a writing exercise and just dream big and just put whatever out there, like my realist in me will be like, well, come on, let's be realistic here. Or you're not going to get all of these things. And this is where it feels like take that off, take that restrictive cap off, and really just allow yourself to be open to every and any way that whatever you are kind of wanting to come in that way. So again, that's a perspective shift on it. You might have usually do something one way and it's kind of more narrowed, and it's like opening up that perspective to be like, holy crap, there's more around me that I could do. It's not just this way. Um, yeah, I think that's it. That's it. I don't need to pause anymore. Jeez. So message number 2, I instantly felt like I saw an image of somebody, writing in a journal, just like sitting alone and just really focused on writing in a journal and getting it out. And I could feel this energy of like getting this out, getting this onto the paper. And so it made me feel, like I'm very much in my head all the time. And sometimes that's what I have to do, even though I hate journaling and stuff. But sometimes it's like you got to unload it somewhere. And it felt like for you, unloading this was actually going to reveal something for you, or there's going to be some wisdom that you didn't realize you had within you, or answers that are within you. So in a way, it was going to kind of trigger automatic writing. As you start kind of like letting it out. So get out of the head, put it on paper, more will be revealed. The cards that I pulled was Ears Wide Open, and then Awakening Genius. And I love this one because it was like, all of this creativity, and you can even see really closely like just script here. So it felt so aligned in the sense of like, like getting out this wisdom or these answers that are you hold within you, within yourself. But sometimes our ego, part of our brain, that is there to keep us safe, and has a purpose, but sometimes it can keep us too safe and restrict us. Sometimes that gets in the way when we keep it in our head, and when you can just start writing without, like literally just start writing. Who cares? Just write whatever starts to come out. Try not to like box it in. Try not to be like, well, what am I going to write about? Just start writing, because it feels like some answers that maybe you've been searching for or seeking will come out in this writing for you for this week. It also feels very therapeutic too, because it feels like maybe some of you, there's things that are bigger in your mind, that they feel bigger, and once you get it out, like your thoughts, your feelings, once you kind of purge that, it feels like it's going to feel not as important, and it's going to give you a perspective shift. So it's all about the mind and the perception. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if it resonated. Bye.